People from there, people from far, Caribbean people, wherever you are, people up north, people.
All right, my Caribbean people. So you had a long, hard working week, and it's Friday night, Saturday night, and you went to that nice bashment party and throw some waist and dance up and curl up. And now it's time to revitalize and get some of that nutrients back in. So here's my fish broth recipe. Hi everyone, it's Caribbean Ducks here. Peace and blessings to everyone. Welcome back to my kitchen. And I'm going to show you today a very simple, easy recipe here. It's our comfort food. It's a traditional Caribbean style fish soup that's made in every household in the Caribbean. So if you're not eating meat, you're going to be eating fish, or you're going to be eating vegetarian. So I'm incorporating the fish and the vegetables and the ground provisions in this recipe here. So I'm going to share it with you. It's nice and healthy, comforting, warming, and it's going to be delicious because we're making it with all fresh ingredients. I have it all laid out here. I'm going to show you each and every one. Let's get started. Here's our delicious fish that's been marinating for about 2 hours. I chose grouper tail because it's a very hardy fish. It won't melt out in the pot, so I leave it whole so we can have nice chunks of meat here, right? So here's the rest of the ingredients that I'm going in with. I'm going in with thyme, garlic, broadleaf thyme, onion, scallion, celery, carrot, 1 ripened plantain, and bay leaf, and some merman basil here. This is gonna add some flavor, right? And 1 Sigen stick. This is a drumstick, 1 of that only. We're gonna have corn, and we're gonna have some yuca, breadfruit, and edo. We leave it in the water here after I peel it so it doesn't darken and oxidize. Gonna need some okra, and here's our spinach that I got from the backyard. We have 2 kinds. We have Malabar thick leaf spinach, and we have some kalaloo here, also known as chowrai bhaji. Just a handful of each I got. And here's the rest of the ingredients here. Gonna have black pepper and salt, pimento berries, small piece of ginger, and some annatto oil. This is gonna add flavor and color to our soup. Delicious and healthy. So this is gonna revitalize you. Guys, simple ingredients to make simple food comforting and delicious. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna cut up everything here and add it to our pot, right? 2 more ingredients that I forgot to mention to you. You're gonna need coconut milk, at least 1 cup of coconut milk, and 1 of your Jamaican cockerel soup mix, because it has everything inside here, all the ingredients, all the salts, mixture, and everything like that. So use 1 of these, make life easier. So here I'm starting by peeling my cassava, my yuca. I cut it up in little chunks and get my sharp knife right underneath the skin, and it comes right off just like that. And here's my fish that I'm using. This is grouper tail. Many people could also use the fish head, the grouper head, also delicious. This tail is a little meaty, and I picked it up from the supermarket, so that's what I'm using right now. I'm just gonna chunk it into big pieces, just like this. And then I'm gonna marinate it. Make sure it's washed with lime juice or lemon juice. And then I'm gonna use some of my green seasoning, my all-purpose Caribbean green seasoning to marinate. I'll set that to the side. First, I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of black pepper and salt, because I'm gonna leave this to marinate for about 2 hours in the refrigerator. So we want to make sure that that seasoning penetrate the meat and get right in there and give it all that flavors, right? So I got all my ingredients cut up here and prepared and ready for this pot. Got our fish, got our provisions, got some oil. I'm gonna heat up my pot right now. So I'm gonna start with my annatto oil. This is 1 tablespoon of annatto oil. And 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm gonna heat all that up. Now, a lot of people cook differently, right? So my way of cooking is to introduce all the seasoning and the aromatics into the oil so that they fry and release all the aroma and all the flavors. So as the heat gets onto it and the oil gets onto it, it releases all its flavor and aroma. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and black pepper. My pimento berries goes in, and I'm gonna give that a nice little toss and let it toast in that oil and release all its flavor. It's smelling awesome in the kitchen already here. And guys, if you had a chance to use fresh bay leaf, give it a try if you haven't done so. It adds more flavors to your pot. Now I go in with all my vegetables and provision and my plantain, and I'm gonna add my milk to it. This is 1 cup of coconut milk. I'm gonna add my cockerel seasoning. So I know the seasonings also have salt, so I'm gonna be mindful of the salt. I'm gonna taste as I go along to make sure that I have enough salt. So I'm gonna let that cook for a bit. Add my corn, and yes, I did season my corn with a little bit of pepper flakes and black pepper. And now I'm gonna just add my fish right on the top, and make sure to get all that green seasoning that you had marinating there with the fish. Scrape it all in, get all that good stuff in there back. We're not wasting none of the seasoning here. And now I'm gonna add about 2.5 cups of water and cook this on low heat and let it simmer for about 30-40 minutes. Cover it down. And now it's time to make my dumplings. So this is how I make my dumpling. I call this my coconut dumpling. I have my cornmeal, 1/2 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of flour, a little bit of salt and pepper. And I like my flavor, right? So I'm going in with about a teaspoonful of my green seasoning and 1/2 cup of coconut milk. And yes, guys, this is fresh coconut milk that I made right in the backyard. I got my coconut, I peeled it, and I grated it. So I made my own coconut milk, so it's even better. Give this a nice mix. And then I'm gonna set this down for about 15 minutes to proof. And our soup is coming along well here. Time to give it a little nudge. We don't want to get crazy with stirring it up. Just give it a little nudge. Make sure that nothing is catching on the bottom. And make sure that everything is submerged and getting cooked well. Yes, guys. The pimento berry and the bay leaf is adding flavors here. Now it's time for our spinach and our okra. And I'm going in with a nice big glob of butter. And we're gonna let that simmer down there and finish cooking. We're almost done. And now it's time for our dumplings. So I'm gonna make various types of dumplings, shapes. First, I'm gonna make some of the little medallions here. What you just do is roll it out into a little ball, flatten it, and make it into a nice little circle, just like this. Press your finger in it, expand it, make a nice little medallion, That's one way of doing it. This is my flavorful coconut cornmeal dumpling. Roll out some of the spinners like this. You can even make it a little bit smaller. Make the spinners smaller, is up to you, your choice. Make it as small as you want, make it as big as you want. But in my opinion, I like the tiny little ones because they absorb some of the flavors even better. And I'm just gonna lay it right on top, let it steam. And here you have it, guys. Our delicious Caribbean style fish broth, revitalize you. Delicious. Enjoy, guys. Try this recipe for a Sunday. Thank you for watching.
People from there, people from far, Caribbean.